Shooting an Elephant by George Orwell. I was a subdivisional police officer in a small town called Mulmeen, Burma. People in this town did not respect me as a police officer. I was a European. This town was very anti-European. I remember once being tackled on a football field by a Burman while the referee turned and looked the other way, and the crowd was cheering and laughing, calling me all sorts of names. This happened to me more than once. But I went on about my everyday business. I would see Buddhist priests standing on the street corner. I would speak to them, and they would look at me with the most awful looks. They were also anti-European. When a European woman, would go shopping down at the bazaar, that's what they call it, a bazaar, the Burmese people would spit on her, spit beetle juice on her, and laugh at her. They just didn't like European people. Many people in this town were prisoners. The prison they were in this prison. And the prison, it was a very awful place. I hated to go there. I would just despise taking somebody to this prison. Every time I would go, the smell was just awful. It was dirty, it was filthy, it was just unbearable. But they were accustomed to this type of living in that situation. I hated this job so much. I often thought about quitting, leaving this job. I came to a point where this job wasn't even worth it anymore. I just wanted to go. I remember one day receiving a phone call from my superior, my boss, telling me that there was an elephant on the loose running around down at the bazaar. I knew this would be the day that would change my life forever. So I went and got a small gun because I didn't know what was I didn't have no idea what I was up against. So I went and got my 38 and I got on my horse. I rode my horse down to the bazaar. I didn't see the elephant. The Burmese people had saw the elephant, but I hadn't saw the elephant. And you can tell by the rage in the city, obviously there was something going on. So I would ask people, where did you last see the elephant? Some would say he went north, some would say he went south, some would say he went east, some would say he went west. So as I began to try to figure out on my own where this elephant was, I see this crowd of children running from around a corner. And mothers were yelling at them to get out, get away, run away, get away from this. You don't need to see this. So, of course, I went to see what was going on, and there was a dead body, an Indian. Apparently, this man had been killed, slaughtered by this elephant. You could still see the elephant footprint in the man's face. That was an awful scene. Very awful scene. almost unbearable. So this group of Burmese men came up to me and said, he went that way. So as I started running in that direction, I could see the elephant in his field, not even realizing that every single Burmese in this town was running behind me. They just wanted a piece of this elephant. They wanted me to kill this elephant because they knew that that was going to be their next meal. They wanted the meat from this elephant. So as I got closer to the elephant, I thought to myself, he may be tamed. He may not try to hurt anybody. Maybe they're just talking. Maybe all this was in my head when I saw that man laying there dead. Maybe the elephant didn't do this. So I got closer to the elephant. Come to find out, the elephant, when he saw me on the horse, the elephant kind of got a little aggressive. So I jumped off the horse and I motioned for my horse to go back, get out the way, because I didn't want my horse to get hurt. So I pulled out my small gun. So this Burmese man walked up to me. He said, "That's not going to work. Try this. Try this rifle." So the rifle was already loaded. So as I moved closer to the elephant got more aggressive. So I shot him. He kind of staggered a little bit, but he never fell to the ground. So I shot him again. He staggered a little bit more. He still didn't fall to the ground. So I shot him another time. And finally, he fell to the ground. He was breathing slowly. It was a very painful sight to watch, almost unbearable. He was breathing slowly. So I kept watching. I kept watching him, but he wouldn't die. And that was just, that breathing was just, to see him suffering like that was just unbearable. So I just fired a round of shots at him. The breathing got slower, but he still didn't die. I couldn't stand to watch it anymore, so I turned and walked away. I just walked away. As I walked back to the bazaar to inspect everything that had happened, about 30 to 40 minutes later, the Burmese people that had followed me to the field told me that the elephant had died, and I see them with these knives and all these sacks of flesh from the elephant. That was going to be their meal. And I decided to walk back to the field to see what was once an elephant. The elephant was just all cut up into pieces. It didn't exist anymore. You could tell it was once an elephant by the trunk. Its trunk. It just laid there, facing up towards the sky. It was an awful scene. So I walked away from the scene and went back to the police station, gathered my things, and decided that was the day that I was going to walk away from that job and never look back. And all this happened when I shot an elephant.